Hello?
Hey girlfriend. Sorry, I was reading I was reading an Instagram notification. So it's time to make a vlog for you. I've been extremely busy. I guess mostly. Yeah, I've been pretty busy the last few months. Um when was the last time I actually talked to you or like made a vlog? I think it was like oh my god, I just remembered. It was in December, no, January. It was January 2016. 2016 in January. What is it right now? It's May 2017. It's like, this is way overdue. This vlog is so overdue. But I'm doing this part one, and because so much has happened to me in the last year and a half. Yeah, actually, like, yeah, let me think. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at remembering. So like December, January year, yeah, year and a half. So where do I start? Where do I begin? Okay, so I will start off actually with my relationship. I'll make this part of the video the relationship part, and I'll film the aftermath and in the next part, which is absolutely terrible, ruined my life in the aftermath. But I'm going to talk about the good part first. So last time I made a vlog for you, I don't know if you remember, but actually you told me recently that you were watching the vlogs that I made, and if you remember in the last one, I had like my Electra Heart lashes and my like blonde hair, and now I have like white hair. Like, it's like really bright. You can't really tell that much in this lighting, but yeah. Also, I'm letting my hair grow out. See, like, I'm gonna actually cut the rest of it off. I'm just letting my natural hair come through because I've bleached my hair so much that my hairline is starting to recede. I'm only 19 and my hairline, like, I'm literally starting to go bald. It's ridiculous. So I'm just letting my hair grow out. But anyways, on to the main topic. So January, okay, so this is my ex. His name was Elias, and I don't know how much detail I went in the last vlog because I don't really want to watch it because it kind of makes me sad. But basically he lives in Colombia. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but he lives in Colombia, and we dated for about 8 months, and it was like, I actually like full on like fell in love, like full on. Like, I was always skeptical about love. I always thought, I was like, I'm never ever going to find anybody who I fall in love with. Like, I didn't exactly know what love was because I obviously have never experienced it before. So but I pretty much immediately knew. The first day that we started talking, I'm also pretty sure I mentioned this part in the last vlog that I made last year. I instantly knew he was like special. Like, this boy is really special to me. Like the first day we met, like, he wanted to like fall asleep with me on Skype, and I was like, immediately I'm like, this boy's a keeper. So and pretty much every single day after that, for like consecutive, like every single day up until like February, where like we would talk every single night, nonstop for hours every night until like February. And March started to roll around, and obviously like he has a life, so there were obviously some days where he couldn't talk to me because he was busy, because he went to school, college, university. You guys call it uni over there. He also worked. He did fashion. So like he designed a bunch of clothes, and it's really cute. Like, he has his own like he literally like started his own company. Like, he has a company with his friends. I think it's his friends. But yeah, like he has his own like Facebook page and everything, and so yeah, he went to school, and he also worked full time. So like he went to school full time and he worked full time. And this boy was basically busy from he had to wake up really early. He woke up at like 6 o'clock every day. Yeah, like 6 in the morning, and he would get home at like what time? Like at his time, I think it was like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock is when he'd usually get home, and that's like insane because pretty much every single day he would wake up, go to school, come home for lunch, go to work, and then he'd come home. And we would talk like every single damn day. And I'm like, dang, this boy's crazy. How he is so wiped out every day. And he talks to me every day for hours, like every night. And that's like really special to me. We did that, like I said, every single day until like February. And then in March, he started to just like skip a few days, like here and there where we wouldn't talk. It was nothing, it wasn't a big deal. I was fine with it because I mean I had my life too. This was when I was in high school last year. I can't believe I was in high school last year. And I'll just start going by months because each month was like really, I guess, kind of special. So like January, I think January is my favorite month, like ever in my entire life. If you want me to be honest, like January of 2016 is probably my favorite month ever in my entire 19 years of being alive because I was the happiest, most content person I've ever been in my entire life. Like I can't even explain how happy I was. And that's like when I had a lot of feelings for this guy. You know the whole saying of like, do you believe in love at first sight? And I'm like, that's what it was. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it was love at first sight. Because instantly when I met him, I was like, it was on Omegle. Oh yeah, that's how we met. We met on Omegle. But like me and my ex, we met on Omegle video. And as soon as I like saw my video, I'm like, bam, like this boy is so cute. And he like felt the same way, like the exact same way for me. And then back to what I was saying about January. Like I still can't explain into words how happy I was. Like I was the happiest little person on the entire planet. My depressed heart was like brought to life for a while. 8 months. It was August when he broke up with me. There were like significant things that happened during each month. And I'm not gonna say, I'm honestly not gonna say what happened in April, but let me just try to like hint to you that it was important. May, that was when I graduated. Okay, so actually after I graduated, I quit my last job. I used to work at a frozen yogurt place. But actually, with the frozen yogurt place, I went there very recently, and I literally almost had a breakdown. Like, I was just suffocating in nostalgia because I walked into that damn frozen yogurt place and my heart like sunk. I was like having so many memories because, excuse me, I'm sorry. Anyways, I was like having so many memories about being there because he was so cute. Like my ex was so cute because he would like talk to me throughout my entire shift when I was at work because I would work so freaking late. Like I would get off at 10 o'clock and that's like 12 a.m. his time. And yeah, like I would get off work every day at like 10 o'clock and I would rush to close the store. And we would talk every single night, and I'm just gonna skip that part for now, the graduation part, because it's not that important. I need to like go over this part real quick. So when I like every night we would talk 12 a.m. his time, 10 o'clock my time, we would be done talking at like 1 a.m. my time, and that's like 3 o'clock his time. And this is the part where it starts to get kind of bad, because that is 3 a.m. his time almost every night, and he would stay up that late most nights, especially the first time we started dating. Like, and he was not getting any sleep. Like, he had to wake up at 6. He would get like, oh, actually no, 6 o'clock my time is when I woke up. 6 o'clock is his time when he woke up, and it'd be 4 o'clock my time. So occasionally, when he woke up, he would get 3 hours of sleep, like, most nights. And now that I think about it, I'm like, that's just so shitty. Like, I feel so bad that I did that, because, like, I was sleep depriving this boy, and I was getting, like, 5 hours of sleep every night, but he was getting, like, 3 hours of sleep every night, and you literally cannot function on 3 hours of sleep. And I remember him telling me that he would just, like, come home during the day, and he would just pass the fuck out, like, and he would take a nap for like 2 hours every day. And I always like kind of got like a little bit frustrated when we would talk, because I would like immediately like start talking to him, and then like sometimes like 10 minutes later he would literally be just falling asleep. Like, he would be gone. Like, I could not wake him up to save my life. Like, I remember a few times I would yell at him to wake him up, and he would not wake up, and I was just so mad. I'm like, nah. I got like really mad, and there were like a few times where I'm just like, this is stupid, so I just hung up. And then the next morning he would message me, and he'd be like, Jonathan, why'd you hang up on me? And then I was like, I'm sorry, I got mad. Because we would always sleep together every night. Like, we would leave Skype on the entire night, and you know, occasionally like I'd wake up, and then he'd be there, right there with me. So it kind of like, it almost in a way felt like we were sleeping like in the same bed. Yeah. So yeah, I feel bad for like sleep depriving him. After graduation, I got another job. I started working at a call center. I'm not gonna go into detail because it's not important, but I started working at a call center for May, June, July. I worked in the call center, and then this is where I got fired the first time ever in my life. So I was working for a call center, and then I switched to another branch, like a different company in the same call center. And then I got fired from there because I made some stupid ass joke. It was a mess. I was a mess because I was so stressed because I just moved out, and I'm like, bitch, like, how the fuck am I going to pay my bills? Like, I was like scared out of my mind. And then I like drove home, and to this house that I'm in right now, I didn't have any of my stuff here because I didn't live here anymore. So I just drove to my parents' house, and I like freaked out and told them that I got fired, blah 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 blah. I moved out, and I hated the house that I lived in. It just had really bad energy, and I was always extremely uncomfortable in it. And this was the really sad part. So about June, July, we stopped talking as much. Like, honestly, like January, February, March, April, May, no, yeah, those 5 months felt like an eternity, but that's a good thing. Like, it felt like heaven for like 5 months. I was just the happiest person ever for 5 months. And then like the last 2 months of the relationship were kind of sad because I would talk to him all the time, and I mean, like, we were still talking all the time, but he got sick. And I found out that he got sick because he didn't tell me why he got sick, but he got like really sick, and he couldn't talk to me for like 2 whole weeks. Like, he literally couldn't talk to me. Like, he messaged me throughout it all, but he couldn't talk to me because he was staying at his mom's house because he had to go to the hospital, and like he had like really bad diarrhea, and he got like really sick. And I found out a few months later, that happened in like April, and I found out a few months later that he got sick because he wasn't sleeping, and I felt so bad. Like, you don't even know. Like, I was like, fuck, like, it was like my fault because he would get like 3 hours of sleep every night. But yeah, anyways, like the last 2 months we stopped talking. I mean, we were still talking all the time, but we didn't video chat as much very often. And this is like where it started to get really bad, because I started getting really insecure because he would like leave my messages on read on like WhatsApp, and I would get really mad at him for doing that because he wouldn't respond. And I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, respond to my message. Like, it's not that hard. Like, he would read it and like, and then yeah, like we pretty much stopped like talking on the videos, because this is the annoying part. This is like, I guess the main reason that we broke up is because he had to move into his parents' house again, because he was living with his grandma. That's why we could talk every night, is because he was living in his grandma's house, and it was just him and his grandma was asleep every night, like really early. But he had to move back in with his mom because his grandma like made like a really long vacation trip to America. Like she went to like New York or something, and so he had to like move in because his parents had to watch him. Like his parents literally had to watch him because they knew that he wasn't sleeping. I found that out. And he like slept in a room like with his brother, so like obviously we couldn't video chat, so we would just talk on the phone, and he would like speak English, and he would just like pretend that, because like his brother didn't know any English, so he would just like pretend he was like practicing English, so we would just like be speaking in the room while his brother was there. But yeah, we stopped talking really those last 2 months, August and July, because yeah, that's why, because he couldn't video chat with me. And you know, it's kind of like a form of intimacy. I mean, that's the most intimate you can get on long distance, because you know, I mean, like even in this way, like with us right now, like as friends, like this is the most personal and like personal friendship wise that we can get, is like talking through vlogs and stuff. And kind of cool because like this stays on the internet forever, so like if you ever feel sad, or if anyone ever dies, then we can just watch these videos and it would be really cool. Fast forward, I was living here in this house now, even though all my furniture and stuff was in the other house, because I hated being there, hated it so much. And so my boyfriend broke up with me one morning. It was just so random, and I was like caught off guard because we were like talking the night before and everything seemed fine, and then I just like woke up and he sent me this huge paragraph, and he's like basically telling me, he's like, I'm sorry, we can't really like talk anymore, you're gonna have to move on. And he was like telling me that because he told me that he can't talk to me anymore because he's so busy with like school and work, and he's at his mom's house all the time because he moved in there, and he can't video chat with me anymore. And it just broke my heart. Like, I was a fucking mess. Like, I can't explain how devastating it was to me. Like, it seriously, like, this is the closest, because I've never lost anybody yet who is very, very close to me. Like, nobody has passed away that is very, very close to me yet. And so I don't know what that feels like, but this is what it felt like to me. Like, I can't even, like, I know that sounds dramatic, but it felt like I, like he died almost, because he didn't talk to me anymore after that. Because I started hanging out with this one guy, and he thought I was dating him. I'm like, no, like, I was not dating him. Like, I would post about him on Snapchat, and we were just friends, and he ended up fucking me over, but that's gonna be in the next part, and it's a huge mess of a story. But anyways, so he just stopped talking to me because he thought I was dating that guy, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because he told me that he wanted to be friends with me. Like, I remember him specifically telling me this one time, and I'll never forget this. We were talking one time on the phone, and he's like, Jonathan, and I'm like, what? And he's like, no matter what happens, even if we break up, I still want to be your friend because I really like you, like, as a person. And he doesn't talk to me anymore, and that kind of like hurt me so bad, because that stuck with me, and it's gonna like stick with me the rest of my life, him saying that to me and him like breaking that promise basically, because he told me. But he doesn't talk to me anymore, and this was about 9 months ago, August. Yeah, that's when he broke up with me. and I will go over in the next video. I'm gonna cut it right now because it's getting really long. Yeah, so that's like all the stuff, all the main things. I graduated, I got fired from a job, and I met the love of my life, which I think is the love of my life. Honestly, like I don't know if I'll ever like meet another person that I love as much as I loved him. That's what people tell me is that I will, but honest to God, it was just so special. Like, if I actually had to die tonight, I would be okay with it, because that's one of the only things that I wanted in life, was to like fall in love with somebody and feel that significant and just know what love is. And that's what I felt, even though we never met in person. And I would have done everything for him. I was working so hard. I was working my ass off because I wanted to come and see him. Like, I wanted to meet him so bad. And he was the love of my life. Like, I can honestly tell you, if he was able to move here or able to visit, I'm not even kidding, like, we get married. We talked about marriage, and yeah, we were like both serious. Like, we would have gotten married. He told me he wanted to marry me. I told him I wanted to marry him. But that didn't happen. Obviously, I'm sitting here now. But Lauraine, I love you, and I miss talking to you, and I miss like talking about things with you all the time. Like freshman year when I was like 14 years old, you were kind of like my escape, like in a way, because like I remember I told you that a few times, where like I kind of like escaped my own reality because like I focus like on other things that aren't here. Like, you made me focus on other places, I guess, because I don't think about Arizona when I talk to you, you know? And I just like forget about all my problems here because I'm talking to you, and you don't live here, and none of my problems affect you. So yeah, because like we live two separate lives, so it's really interesting. But I really miss talking to you, like a lot. Like, I haven't told you really, but I think about you a lot. Like, if you want me to be real, we haven't been talking at all recently, but I can honestly tell you I've been thinking about you a lot, and I really miss talking to you. Like, you were my best internet friend ever. And like I said, I wanted to come to Toronto. We'll see how that actually goes, because I'm not going to make any promises right now, because I said that I was going to come last time and I didn't. And I'm saying I want to come this time, but I don't know. I don't know, because I'm trying to go to college, and I have like a lot of money saved up right now, but I'm going to have to use that for my classes, so... And I plan on coming in December if I do come, but I might actually have to delay that until spring next year, because I know that's when you're off of school. So yeah, hopefully I can come and see you. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Let's see where life takes us. But I would love to come to Toronto, because I have 2 other friends actually that live there, and I plan on meeting them too. So yeah, I'll talk about a lot more in part 2, but I'm just gonna leave it at this. So I haven't said this in a really long time, but I love you. Even though we don't talk anymore, you're still really important to me. Growing up as a teen, like, you were like all my teen years, basically, like 14, 15, 16, 17, like those are like the teen years, and you're always there for me for that. And I thank you. I don't know if I've ever said this, but I thank you for being there for me. And yeah, I know we're both like super busy, so obviously I understand why we're not talking. And it's kind of sad, you know, growing up, how you kind of lose contact with lots of people, because I've lost contact with everyone growing up, you know, and I've only been an adult for like 2 years, and it's lost a lot of contact. But anyways, I'm sorry this video is so long, but I love you, and I hope we can start talking more regularly, because it's great to have an escape, and I miss talking to you. So bye.